Dire team ban.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Game 2 of the joinDOTA League Season 2 Asia Division 1. I'm Roxas. With me is Don Horatio. And we have Gigabyte versus Mineski. Or sorry, Mineski versus MiTH.Trust. Jesus Christ, I saw two letters. I'll get better at these intros, I promise. Don't worry about it. MiTH.Trust versus Mineski. Game 2, we saw Mineski with Team Global take a very convincing Game 1. What do you expect in this Game 2, Kyle?
Well, won't be seeing the same sort of strats with the AA and Invoker already banned out, but, well, I'm curious to see what Mineski has up their sleeves, because they went for a kind of a wombo combo team fight in that last game, and it certainly worked out for them. And I'm looking to see what other style they could maybe go for here. They got the Bat Rider, which is always a nice start, so we'll have to see how that pans out for them. Yeah,
Bat Rider, always going to be good. He was banned out the last game, and MiTH.Trust going to secure themselves the Centaur War Runner. Once again, they did pick that first last game. Then picked that with Sand King. Who else did they pick first in the first phase?
Sand King was second.
They picked another core. They picked Ember Spirit. That's who they picked up. So we'll see if they decide to go for it again. Didn't really work out too well in the last game. I also think that playing Ember Spirit is pretty difficult when there's a Bat Rider on the field because you're just so squishy under lasso that you are susceptible to getting bursted down before you can get any of your skills off. So we'll see if they decide to go for that. If they pick up a strong support such as a Shadow Demon, who's quite good against the Bat Rider, or they could even go with a Nyx Assassin. However, they would have to run either the Centaur or the Nyx Assassin mid, or run a Nyx Assassin support, which is usually suboptimal for the metagame right now.
Yeah, it's certainly not desirable. So, yeah, like you said, I don't think Ember Spirit's what you want to go for here. Something like a Dazzle could be a nice choice. That's still available. Dazzle and Sand King, I would say, are the two best supports available right now. Oh, maybe Shadow Demon as well on top of that, if they want to consider.
Shadow Demon's just really, really good against Bat Rider.
Yeah. I think a strong support here is a good decision. I think the Shadow Demon's nice, but they're going to go for the Naga Siren, which is a hero that's still really, really good. So,
we did see. I can't remember exactly which game it was, but there was a game where there was a Naga Siren and a Centaur on the same team, and basically the Centaur and everyone else just made a lot of space for Naga.
Radiant team ban.
And with the Stampede damage, basically she was always able to get away. Or sorry, with the Stampede, she was always able to get away. She always had Song or Stampede, so it was just impossible to gank her. And not to mention that a 4-man ball with a Centaur War Runner, it's quite powerful. Just Stomp and Double Edge and the Stampede damage does buff everyone on your team based on your strength. So it works out quite nicely if you're looking for making space for a hard carry like this.
Yeah, Centaur is just an absolutely fantastic offlane hero in this sort of meta that we're in right now, where there's a lot of farming mids that are your hardcore late gank carries like Ember Spirit and Naga Siren. So definitely a nice little combo for Myth. And Ember Spirit can be taken up by Mineski, so they're thinking they can play it just a little bit better than their opponents did. So we'll see what they do pick up to go around him. I've heard it said that if you pick Ember Spirit, you need at least one defensive support to help him out, like a Dazzle or Shadow Demon, something like that. And I agree wholeheartedly with that, and I want to see what support cast they do round up for this Ember Spirit.
Two counters to the two heroes that they have on the board banned out from Mineski. Nyx banned out so the Bat Rider doesn't have to deal with it, and Doom banned out so the Ember Spirit doesn't have to deal with it. Also, Doom works very well when you have a harder carry like Naga Siren because he can go for just utility, Mech, Vlad, Shiva's Guard, Assault Cuirass, things like that, and basically shows up to a fight, provides a lot of auras and crit from the pack leader's aura, and just takes someone out of a fight. And then everyone else gets to do all the follow-up damage. So, going to deny them that opportunity. Wisp and Mirana going to be banned out from MiTH.Trust as they're really nervous about the ganks. So if there was another Team Global sort of strat to fit with the Wisp, Naga Siren, sometimes she can be stun-locked, especially if there's a Wisp Tiny picked up in this next phase. One relocate in with a Bat Rider lasso, you just can't deal with it. You can't song out. And then also dealing with Moonlight Shadow consistently in the late game gets very difficult as well.
Yeah, I like the Mirana ban. It's a hero that I think it pairs well with Ember Spirit. It's a ranged kind of semi-carry that provides some utility as well and disables and helps create space for the Ember Spirit. It's kind of similar to the Centaur in some respects like that. It's a hero that doesn't need a whole lot to make a difference. As we see, a Dazzle picked up for Myth, and the Dazzle Centaur combo it's really good. And Naga Siren on top of that, so there's a lot of illusions to heal up for maybe some delightful heal bomb action. But I really like this Dazzle pick, and something Mineski might have gone for themselves, so it's a really smart take.
I think that Mineski is kind of, they have to pick Shadow Demon now, because MiTH.Trust is definitely going to pick Shadow, well, maybe not definitely. They probably will pick Shadow Demon with their fourth pickup, as it works very well with the Dazzle heal bombs as well as the Centaur, plus it's very good against Bat Rider in the first place. Also, Shadow Demon is quite good against Naga Siren because you
5
get to
seconds
disrupt her and
remaining.
take some of the illusion radiance burn for yourself, which can do a lot more in a fight than a lot of
Reserve
people will give it
time.
credit for. Plus, the Purge, incredibly good against anyone with Stampede that's trying to get away, is you just simply remove that. And late in the game when he gets an Aghanim Scepter, which I haven't gotten to see in a game yet, but he can remove Stampede from 2 people, which is a lot of damage, a lot of mobility that you gain when you have a Centaur on your team. So I suspect Shadow Demon to be contested in these next few picks.
Yeah, I certainly think it's a great choice. Mineski will need something to help. Sorry, well, no, they don't need that. Well, MiTH.Trust needs something to deal with the lasso, so whether it's like Eventual Spear or something like that, Shadow Demon would be a great choice as well. I think you're right. I do like Mineski taking it here if they don't offer.
It's also a
it,
defensive
they
support
should.
with an Ember
Yeah.
Spirit. Which
I think it's a really smart decision. I think it's something they could definitely do, but they're certainly thinking it through. So we'll see what they do decide on.
I'd be interested if they go full greed mode here and maybe pick up something like a Luna, as then a lot of people pick up Naga Siren and think they just have the trump card late game, but Ember Spirit, Luna together will actually outcarry it because they're so good at wave clearing with the illusions. That's the biggest strength of Naga Siren and Phantom Lancer, is that you build your illusions really tanky and then they're just impossible to kill and do a lot of chip damage over time to all of the heroes. Not to mention evasion obviously comes with them, as both of them are agility carries that will build butterflies. So they could do that if they really wanted to, plus their team fight gets very scary. They're also on Dire, so taking Roche with Lunar Blessing is easy. They really are thinking about it, though. They could go for a Dire side Templar Assassin and maybe try to do well against Naga Siren in the mid lane, and they go for the Keeper of the Light, so I'm expecting either PL or... actually, I guess I'm just expecting PL now. Was it Mineski that ran Coddle PL yesterday?
We didn't cast Mineski, it was MiTH.Trust who did it.
MiTH.Trust ran Coddle PL yesterday.
I don't know. I don't know. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. I'm not a huge fan. I don't think Keeper of the Light's the hero just is easily killed by a lot of things. A Keeper of the Light against a Centaur is a sad old man. More sad than most old men are normally, but it's... There you go, Shadow Demon. So I'm really liking MiTH.Trust lineup a lot better. The Coddle just... God, I just don't feel good about it.
Yeah, picking a PL into a Shadow Demon is also really hard, so... Mineski, maybe not valuing the Shadow Demon as highly as we anticipated as far as MiTH.Trust's desire to pick it up in the 4th phase. So they do have to pick a carry that's going to go well with Coddle here. It's going to be kind of difficult. I mean, there is the recall and remnant stuff, which is cutesy. I mean, it's really hard to get Ember Spirit and get a semi-global strat, and he can be in a lot of places at once, but I'm not sure how that's going to help you late game whenever MiTH.Trust just comes and knocks at your front door.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not particularly sold. We'll see. It's going to be a Wraith King, so keep it light, decent with Wraith King. I mean, infinite stuns, kind of. Never have to worry about having mana for Reincarnate. Or it could be, well, it could also be a support Wraith King as well, so I don't want to say the jury's quite out on that yet, but it might be a carry in this circumstance, but we'll see. I don't know. It's not a great hero to pick into a Shadow Demon if that is your...
It's also not great to pick into an illusion-based Diffusal Blade building hero as far as your carry is concerned. I mean, if he just goes Blink Blade Mail and runs in and dies to help the fight's cause, that's... I think I would favor that a little more than putting all of your chips on the table for Wraith King as your one-position carry. But we'll see. We've seen Wraith King executed very well. We've seen Wraith King executed very poorly. He's one of those heroes that doesn't necessarily just always do well in a certain lineup. There's a lot of execution variables based on who's playing it and if they're used to playing it and how well they use their ult. It's weird to say, like, how well do I go in and die? But it certainly is one thing that separates good Wraith King players from bad Wraith King players.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it's the support. I don't know if the carry would be too successful here, but we see Weaver banned out, so I'm definitely thinking that it's a support at the moment. As DK is going to be taken out by Mineski. I think that's a decent ban, but well, we'll see. They're looking for either a mid or a carry, depending on where they want to put the Naga Siren. I'd expect it to go middle. It should do just fine against an Ember Spirit, so they're probably going to go for a safe lane hero of some kind here.
Well, it's also
we'll see what they pick up.
It's really good to have Naga Siren on Radiant in mid, just because of the camp farm. The same reason that you would put a Shadow Fiend in mid instead of putting him safe lane. So I would expect him to put a safe lane carry. Mirana's not in the pool.
10 seconds remaining.
Who else is pretty? Who else is good with Shadow Demon and Dazzle? Slardar is in the pool if they want to go for that.
I haven't seen that hero in forever, but that would be okay. They already have a Blink AoE stunner, though. I don't know if they really need to get a Slardar here, but what other options do they have? They have got 10 seconds to think of one. There's still a Luna if they want to. It's a little bit greedy with the Naga Siren already in the draft, but you have a Centaur to help create space and Shadow Demon and Dazzle to keep you alive, so it might work out. They'll go for
my
an
god,
Axe.
Axe.
The Dream.
Team pick.
This is an aggressive tri-lane.
Oh my god.
So, getting disrupted into a call, into a heal bomb, and being surrounded by those illusions, anyone's dead. I think it was Team Liquid or EG that are really good at running this tri-lane. I'm pretty sure it's EG, actually. They're very good at running this, and if you just are out of position once and the Dazzle and Axe are in position to follow up with the call and the Shallow Wave, incredibly difficult for anyone to survive that burst. Even the Wraith King, as far as his early levels, because he's a strength hero, but he's pretty squishy. Razor carry, or this is a Razor mid. We don't see Razor too often. He does very well mid just because of being able to steal damage and being able to outlast hit opponents. And he doesn't really need mana for that most of the time. Plus, there's a lot of single target. There's a lot of single target abilities, which obviously proc his passive and are pretty harmful to the supports whenever if they ever try to gank him. Same with Axe. But it's an interesting pickup. I haven't seen Razor in a long time. I'm happy to see him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the hero, and Mineski's draft is just it certainly doesn't look normal. We'll see how it pans out for them, but they need to dodge this tri-lane for a myth. That's going to be absolutely imperative. If they fight 3v3 against this tri-lane, I don't think they can win. They need to find a way to dodge it and stay away from this wombo combo with as many heroes as they can.
My mouse cursor does not exist. That's bad.
Sometimes Dota makes mouse cursors go away.
Maybe it's because not everyone's loading the game. Oh, there it is. Oh, good. Thank goodness. Asking for a reconnect would have been tough.
Crisis averted.
Crisis averted. So we do have a pause here as Mineski, they all but one chosen their heroes, it looks like. We're going to be having the Razor going in the carry role. So I think the last team that I saw run Razor in the carry role consistently was Team Liquid. They would run TC on Razor a lot. It actually works out quite well. The hero does a lot of damage, especially when he gets the farm to be hard to bring down. He does need a BKB, he needs an Aghanim Scepter, but beyond that, he's one of the more versatile heroes in the game as far as his item builds. If you want to go pure speed, if you want to go for maybe a Desolate or a Butterfly, you can go Assault Cuirass, you can even go for a Refresher with your Aghanims. Or Satanic actually works quite well just because the damage you steal does proc with your lifesteal, increase your survivability. So, what do you think about Razor in the one role?
I don't know. I'm not a tremendous fan of it. I think it's better as if you can use it in the lane to affect, like if you have a plan in your lane to get kills or push towers or something, I think it's okay. It's just not a hero that's tremendously well suited for the one, in my opinion. But because you have to find damage you don't get it. You find it from other heroes, and you have to get the link off to make it work. So you have to have a lineup that allows you to do that. So they have a couple of stuns and things like that, but there's really no big AoE stun to slow a bunch of heroes down and let you have the pick of the litter as to who you want to link up. But I don't know. It just tends to fall off a lot later. I don't know. I'm still leaning towards MiTH's draft here, but we'll see how the Razor goes. I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of it, the hero in general. So
65% win rate with Axe and Dazzle.
Yeah, it's
really hard to deal with.
Like Axe is that hero is silly. I don't know. In like an okay way. It's really fun to watch. As a spectator, it doesn't get much more fun than watching an Axe game. So
it's kind of like Pudge in that instance. You know where the action's going to be, and there are going to be dives, and people are going to... Well, Axe is just one of those heroes, and I enjoy heroes from a spectator viewpoint that encourage action and killing heroes, that don't really encourage farming. And, it's good that Dota has heroes like Medusa, Anti-Mage, and heroes like that, just because I think more variety is always good, but seeing heroes like Axe, Batrider, Pudge, I think that they're a lot of fun. Just because the hunt is always on, the action's always there, and it makes sure that the game keeps a really good pace.
Yeah, it's just like MiTH has like a Naga that just wants to free farm, and then 4 heroes that want to fight constantly. It's going to be trying to fight in this 4-man of MiTH is going to be absolutely terrifying.
And I think this is the right way to run Naga. Is to run Naga with a 4-man death ball, making space for you. And these can pretty much kill anyone on their own. We saw Miracle yesterday, who was playing his Naga Siren. He pretty much got his Radiance and said, okay, I'm going to fight with you guys so that I can secure some kills, and he got some farm that way. So both of them really work, too, and I think that this is why these 4 heroes synergize with Naga Siren so well.
Yep, and well, MiTH.Trust finally finds their way into picking their heroes. They found the button, so you can actually now start the game. So.
All right. We'll go ahead and introduce MiTH.Trust.
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay, yeah, no, I'll do it. I'd love to. Anyway, on the Shadow Demon, we have TNK taking the reins in the Dazzle. It will be Boom Bell. Axe will be played by ABBA. They're normally the mid player, but I guess they're moving around because Lakel's to be playing off this Naga Siren. And Centaur going to be taken by KYT. So, we're going to run Centaur in the mid lane, actually, up against the Ember Spirit, and put Naga in the bottom.
Really hard for Ember Spirit. I think that's exactly what they're going to go for. Naga Siren going to have an interesting time against Batrider, but speaking of Batrider, on the side of Mineski, that's going to be played by Jesse Vash. On the Wraith King, in the support role, we're going to have Oa. The other support, the Keeper of the Light, going to be played by 123. The Carry Razor in the safe lane going to be played by ASXC. And in the mid lane, as the Ember Spirit, we're going to have Jay.
Yep, so we'll have to see how this, all the action will be in this top lane, and they are going to fight the tri-lane versus tri-lane, so...
This is really smart. The Observer Ward here and hiding by the side shot, they're not going to block creeps, or at least they do it with one hero, and they're trying to catch someone out. I think that they should still try to do that, because it's a very potent combo, but it looks like... Oh, sorry, that was actually a Dire Observer Ward, that spotting them. My mistake.
Yeah, it's a good spot to have against this really aggressive tri-lane. I think the Ward Vision up here needs to be absolutely brilliant to help them out as much as they can be in the right spot against this tri-lane, because if you're caught out once, you're pretty straight up dead, so...
And these heroes are quite squishy. Razor quite squishy as well, only sitting at 21 strength. Coddle very squishy. The best one they have is Wraith King, and he's only sitting at 568 health, so he's going to be dead if he gets caught out as well, even though, so... At the very least, the carry in this is...
Up Disruption middle, there's a Stomp to follow. Did they have the damage to actually kill Jade? The Stomp was actually mistimed after the Disruption. A little bit of a error there from KYT. I thought that was going to be an easy kill, but they don't pick it up.
No. I was going to say, at least the farming hero in this lane is ranged. It's not the Ember Spirit, so he's going to have a much easier time getting CS against this. Plus, using Static Link to zone someone off the lane, even if it's not getting the damage off, is going to be essential against here. So, and they see the Shadow Demon mid, so going to be feeling free to pull creeps and play a little bit more aggressively against this Axe. And I'm not sure. Dazzle's actually gone bottom. Do you think that they just are giving up on this?
This laning, I mean, they want to go back to that combo. There's no reason not to, but they're trying to let Axe get a couple of levels up so he can maybe get some... So he's gone for call and he's got some points of counter. They want to get him a couple of levels first so that when they actually do start fighting, it'll be a bit more effective. Like, the heal bomb at level 1 from Dazzle, level 1 heal's not that much, so if he gets to level 3, that will help out a lot. Shadow Demon is already ready to go. A couple more points in Soul Catcher would be nice as well, but that's basically all I can think of. But they will come back up here. They're just trying to get a little bit of level shared around, get off to a nice start in this bottom lane. It'll give Lakel's a bit of help before running off and fighting that top lane, so I don't know. I think this is okay.
Yeah. The other cool thing about putting this solo lane, Lakel's against the Batrider, is even though Bat can do really well in the lane, you still don't get as much money from the lane as you do by farming the jungle with Firefly. So eventually Lakel's will be left alone, and he can't really harass him out too well as long as Lakel's has the mana for Riptide, and since he has a Magic Stick and the Napalm spam, pretty much going to supply him with that. But Jay moves down bottom with the cover of Nimbus.
There's 5 stacks on Lakel's.
Yep. Searing Chain's going to be doing a little bit of damage, but the Stick going to be healing up a lot. Dazzle there as well. He does not have a point in Grave. He's only level 2 and 7 stacks. First Blood secured by the Flame Guard, but now Wraith King's come back as well. Boom Bell is in trouble. That's going to be 2 kills, but the Ember Spirit manages to go down to the Poison Touch. And that's what happens when you let the stacks of Napalm get on you.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, they don't have a ward in this bottom rune, so they didn't see the invis get picked up, so they really didn't have any idea that was coming. It's like Lakel's isn't going to die to just the Ember Spirit, but I don't know. He wasn't gone from lane that long.
Disruption mid. Flame Guard is used, but Shadow Poison's there as well. Double Edge to follow up. Soul Catcher making it do a lot of damage, and Coddle comes in though. He gets a return kill because of the Illuminate. Old man on a horse coming and rescuing his friend.
Yeah, wow. And well, man, I didn't think the lanes, like, looking at this draft, you didn't think Mineski would be the one winning their lanes, but with the way they started out, roaming the Shadow Demon and Dazzle around to spots that weren't exactly what we anticipated at the start, a lot of kills going the way of Mineski, 3-1 so far, so nice start for them.
Razor going to steal a lot of damage here from Max as he goes to the side top to pick up the blink and going to use it to go on Boom Bell. Only one more click and then the Wraithfire Blast going to be able to secure that kill, and wow. Mineski just straight up outplaying MiTH.Trust in this first 4 minutes of gameplay.
Kells goes down as well, but we'll get a return kill from the tower. But I mean, I like this. The support rotations from Mineski have been spot on. They've reacted to how the lanes have been from MiTH.Trust from the get go. Wraith King being in the right spot a couple of times. Coddle as well, rotating to mid. You don't often see Coddle rotate a whole lot. He's a guy who likes to stack camps, give mana to his carry, and things like that. But they're gonna go on Axe again. Here it looks like a lot of damage getting drained once again. Doesn't quite have a stun though, trying to body block as best he can. ABBA pretty tanky, always going in deep for this. Plasma Field to clean up. Oh, yeah. It might go down here though. One more tower shot. Not quite, 40 health about, and we'll Tango up and peace out. So
that's the beauty of Plasma Field as well. Because Axe was running away and you got the outer damage on the Plasma Field, he was able to secure that kill. And not very many other heroes would have been able to secure that safely outside of the tower.
He's putting points in the Plasma Field as well. You don't see this all the time. Sometimes people like to put points in Unstable Current. Some people don't like to max Plasma Field. I've seen players not get Plasma Field at all, but he was expecting to be fighting a lot, and Plasma Field is actually a really, really nice fighting spell for this hero. So I think it was obviously it's paid off now, but in general I think it's a good choice against this lineup as well. Absolutely.
You're certainly seeing the benefits of that, but supports are going to rotate. They're just going to start supporting Lakel's here as looks like Axe is shut down. They're going to be abandoning this tri-lane, and he's going to have a hard time getting a Blink Dagger here. Batrider having a bit of a better time as he's already got a big level advantage on Lakel's. He's not level 6 just yet. He needs one more creep kill, 50 XP, but there's a disruption as well. Net to follow. Soul Catcher is on him, and Shadow Poison 6 as well as a Poison Touch. Going to be able to secure the kill with the Heal Bomb, but they're all burning down to Firefly. Going to manage to barely get that. Both of them salve up and get back away to safety. So at this point, I think that Batrider should go back to the jungle, where currently Jay was taking a lot of damage from creeps.
Another stun into ABB, lots of damage being drained. Plasma Field sure to follow here momentarily. Another kill on this Axe.
That was the most excited I've ever heard you.
What?
You were completely monotone through that whole thing.
Dude, it's just Axe getting wrecked. I mean, he was just going to die. There's really no way out of that. Arcane Boots on Wraith King. You normally see just treads and you tread switch to get the mana, but I guess no one else on this team built Arcane Boots, so Wraith King's going to take it upon himself. So
it helps for it certainly helps for Razor, who has a pretty low mana pool. He doesn't necessarily need it, but Plasma Field is a very spammable ability that costs a fair amount of mana, so good to all that, and it's a lot of damage. So he picks up his Phase Boots, and he's going to the shop. Is he getting a point booster? Yeah, he's going to be rushing Ags here. I was thinking most of the time with Razor, you'll see them go for a BKB, maybe some drums and Phase Boots because of the movement speed as well from Unstable Current, getting the benefit from that. Not to mention, you need to be able to catch up to make sure that you keep the static link on everyone, and if you can keep up, the Eye of the Storm going to do a lot more damage as well. But when you're really far ahead like this, it's going to be really easy to push towers, and getting that Aghanims on Razor is going to help that much more. And he can probably just go for that Aghanims and before even going for a BKB, just because they're going to have a bit of a lead here.
Yeah, and man, this Axe is actually he's not a very good offlaner against the traditional tri-lane or even dual lane scenario. The hero really benefits in one-on-one matchups against melee.
Goodbye, Batrider. He gets disrupted, Soul Catcher. No, right clicks, he barely gets away. Is he going to die of Shadow Poison, though? Yes, he is, and Poison Touch as well.
He's fine. I was trying to go. Jay trying to get the Searing Chains. Song to save TNK, so. Just at level 6. Song will be down for quite some time, though, after that. Does save the support, though, and well, we'll be like, well, time to get some levels. Support Wraith King's already level 6, so he's got his ultimate ready to go once he has the mana back up, so.
Which he just got, so.
Feels good.
Feels good, man.
Yeah.
Axe is retired to the jungle, it looks like. Batrider should probably be doing the same. Now, he's going to keep going to this bottom lane. He's level 7. He actually decided to forego Lasso for more points than Napalm. What do you think about that?
I don't really think that's a good idea, but, I mean, I don't know. He's trying to stick around in the lane, and Napalm helps him do that a bit more reliably, I guess, but,
Radiant's middle tower is under
I don't know.
attack.
You want to get Lasso. I don't really think there's a reason to skip it, but...
Do you think it has anything to do with maybe the... I guess he's pretty far from a Blink Dagger, and by the time he farms up a Blink Dagger and gets that gold from the creeps, he'll hit another level so that he can level his ult anyway, so he basically just doesn't want to Lasso if he doesn't have Blink. I guess that makes sense as well.
I mean, they know he's level 8 now, so let's see if he does get it now or not, but, they'll know if he...
No, he doesn't.
They don't know if he's leveled it or not. Like, they don't know if he has Lasso, so...
I mean, you kind of assume that he does, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he's pretty scared, I guess, and he just has no intention of ganking before his blink, so I guess it's fine. I don't know.
Well,
But
mid lane, there's going to be disruption onto Ember Spirit. He's going to end up dying in the Shadow Poison, but Oa going to be throwing out the Wraithfire Blast onto TNK. He has his extra life. He doesn't really care. There he is. The slow's going to be there, but Axe is coming in. He's going to be able to surround him, get the call. Well, now maybe he cares. Stomp, going to be able to secure. So.
yeah, that...
Radiant's
Yeah, I don't know about
top
that,
tower is under attack.
Whatever. Well, Wraith King just thought he couldn't die twice, but he was pretty wrong about that. Nice move from Axe, finding some, I don't know, he needed that level 6 pretty badly, and that kill gets him it, so...
I also got him some much needed assist gold as he really needs that Blink Dagger pretty soon. Also, I wanted to say I realized something. So if MiTH.Trust is playing like that has Lasso, but he just actually just does more damage with his abilities, maybe they underrate him a bit. Speaking of underrating, Lakel's, he's getting died by Ember Spirit, double TP's coming in, but not before he goes down. Centaur coming in. He doesn't have the ult ready, but the Stomp, ooh, he jukes it with the Remnant. But there's additional TP support coming in. Now there's literally every hero on the bottom lane except Batrider.
Yeah, they're ready to go, and I don't really see MiTH being able to fight this, but, well... We'll see. Positive field to push the wave out. See what they can get done with this push.
Razor almost has Aghanim Scepter. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's 10 minutes into the game. As a safe lane farmer, he is going to be able to start pushing down towers very soon. Not to mention the damage it does during a fight. Axe picks up an invis, goes mid. Jay could be in a bit of trouble here. He's getting surrounded. Disruption going to be there. Soul Catcher not going to be landing on anything except him. And he gets surrounded. Goodbye, friend. He's going to be going down. In the meantime, bottom lane's getting pushed, but it looks like they just want to trade that for the tier 1 mid.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. I don't know. It's hard to fight. There's no reincarnate in Wraith King, but they don't want to fight in this Razor right now, understandably so. So they're just going to go for the trade. And tier 1 mids, well, they're not going to quite get it because Batrider's here. He's got Firefly as well if he wants to pop it, so that's decent anti-push. He still hasn't... Oh, he's got another point in Flame Break. This guy is leveling everything except his ultimate. So.
He's going to level stats next, don't worry.
No, that's legit. Well, bottom tower does go down, so... Race has found himself 2 towers. Does he get the last on both of them? I don't know about the top one, but he's getting pretty jacked, and that Aghanim's is done now, so...
Smoke mid lane. Going to be moving towards the bot. Going to be trying to find Oa here. He doesn't have his ultimate. And looks like they might be trying to find ASXC. He does finish his Aghanims now, so he's going to have a lot more damage than they're really anticipating. It looks like they're going to actually... Who's ganking who here? Owa's acting as a bait. He actually just uses his Wraithfire Blast to farm. Well, good luck trying to stun now. There's a surround. Gonna be the Axe Call. Oh my god, that damage.
Yeah, that... You die pretty good. The heal is up to level 3 now, so the damage is getting pretty ridiculous. Ember Spirit actually, meanwhile, diving mid, trying to get this Centaur, trying to Remnant to get the last bit of damage. Doesn't quite get it, but then... Or Flame Card will help finish it off, so...
Yep.
They'll clean up, and, well, they have this Aghanim's Razors, so they can go ahead and push this tier 1 if they want to.
Yeah, but there's TP's coming in. He took a lot of tower damage. He uses the ultimate, tries to get the static link onto Lakel's, but in the meantime, in the back of the fight, Demonic Purge was used, and Ember Spirit does go down, but Song of the Siren is used, but too bad Eye of the Storm, and static link goes through that. Call going to be used on ASXC, still doing a lot of damage, but ultimately does go down. Shallow Grave going to be used on Axe. He's going to be able to get away with some safety, but then comes the Batrider. He's finally leveled his ultimate. Uses it on Boom Bell, and Oa going to be able to try to right-click him down. Uses a Wraithfire Blast, but there's no grave. One last crit's going to be able to finish him off. So a bit of a skirmish there, and I think that Mineski comes out on top.
Yeah, I think as far as the heroes they lost, I don't know if they did, but they're going to get the tier 1 tower, so that will... Well, there's a Glyph Pop. They might... They can defend this, I think. Well, their heroes are all back really far. I don't know. There's no blink on the Centaur quite yet either, so...
Also want to point out that our stats man pointed out that Razor, when he goes Axe first, usually averages it at 20 minutes, and ASXC had it at 12 minutes. I'm wondering if that's the fastest, or what the fastest is.
The two tower last hits, I think, and also the kills going his way as well. What's his kill score? I mean, he did die just now. That was probably his first death.
He's 2 for 1.
Only 2 and 3, but they're going to take this tier 1 mid pretty easily. So,
I mean, he had like 60 last hits at 10 minutes, so that's pretty good.
Razor not typically a hero you fear free farming. But anyways, Stampede can be used. Disruption popped, Soul Catcher onto the Razor. He's going to get Whamma Blamma.
Jesus Christ, that damage. But Slate of Fist going to be doing a lot of work as well. Not going to be able to kill him. There is going to be a Wraith King getting the last hit on the tower so they don't get to deny. Culling Blade going to be able to secure him as well with the help of the Demonic Purge. But doesn't matter. He has a second life. Wraith King comes in. He throws a Wraith Fire Blast and Ember Spirit coming up. Searing Chain's going to be able to lock him in place, but there's a defensive disruption going to be used as well. But Wraith Fire Blast is up again. Going to be throwing it onto Abba. Is he going to be pursuing this? They probably should. He secures it with the Remnant. In the meantime, Coddle throwing out Illuminates and Blinding Lights everywhere with his ultimate. He doesn't have the Shock of Magic. Kells comes in, gets lassoed immediately, only has Strums and Stick, and he's going to be blown up. And now Batrider, he's blinking around. He's got Firefly everywhere. There's a Wraith Fire Blast on the Boom Bell. Defensive Disruption going to buy him some time, but he's going to die. Also, TNK, he should be dying to the Firefly Batrider in the meantime. And Boom Bell, oh no, the Double Edge saves him! The DOT from the Wraith Fire Blast. Not going to be enough with the help of the Shallow Wave, getting them some sustain. And these fights, yeah.
OO went full Yolt.
Are we watching Dota or are we watching Fight Club?
I don't know, but it's pretty entertaining to watch, and, well, at the end of the day, I don't even know. I'm trying to tell who actually...
I mean, Mineski is coming out on top of all these engagements. If we look at the net worth, Centaur at the top, Lakells is having a terrible time. He's gone for drums. He only has Sick and Brown Boots. Currently sitting at 2 for 4 with only 48 last hits. So it's going to be really difficult if he wants to go for a Radiance this game. I think it would be too late to matter. I think he has to go straight for something like a Diffusal into a Manta style and go straight for a Heart like that. Not the Naga Siren we're used to seeing, but it's still really good, especially when you have heroes that really rely on their mana and have notoriously low mana pools, such as Ember Spirit, Wraith King, Razor, and even Batrider to a degree before he gets some mana regen items.
This Naga needs to carry hard. I think she still has to go Radiance here, or else there's no chance she's farming her way back into this one. I think she has to go Radiance. It's going to be really, really hard, don't get me wrong, but...
Smoke into the Dire Jungle, TNK, going to get the Disruption of the Soul Catcher and the Surround. He does get a Slate of Fist. Wow, going to be able to get it, but here comes ASXC with his ultimate. There's an Illuminate to do a lot of damage as well, but Firefly coming in and Flamedrake securing the kill as well. Shallow Grave going to be running out on the TNK.
Oh, what a disaster.
Wow, who ganked who here, and not to mention KYT. He tries to get a stop, but there's a lasso. Force Staff is off cooldown though, and now he's surrounded by 5 heroes. KYT going to be going down to the Eye of the Storm.
What a disaster.
What a disaster. And Lakells trying to free farm, doesn't even get the tier 1 tower, and what a disaster indeed.
Yeah, it's just, oh my god, like, that was a very brave smoke, but they didn't even get the hero that they went on, and that's the power of Dazzle. Sorry, not the power of Dazzle, the power of Anti-Dazzle. What saved that guy? I don't even know. But anyway, god, it's just mistiming the heal bomb. I don't know how you managed that as well, but...
Well, the other curse of Disruption, and I know this is why you hate playing with Shadow Demon, is that sometimes it sets up very well, but other times it just gives the enemy time to prepare. And in that case, it gave the enemy a lot of time to prepare. And the best thing there was that Jay was spamming the Slate of Fist. So as soon as he came out, he avoided a lot of the damage, and that gave his team the time to buy him the space with the Flame Break, with the Razor coming in with his ultimate, not to mention the Wraith Fire Blast and the Batrider, with spreading the Firefly everywhere. There was also a Blinding Light that gave everyone a big mischance, which I think played a big role there as well, because a lot of hits didn't get off, and in that time, all 5 heroes were there. So
yeah, and also like they smoked and they found one hero by the large camp, and two other heroes were like at the 2 medium camps. Like they were all right there. They just MiTH.Trust didn't know it per se. So just like, was there a stampede? Was that for anything?
I don't know. They were moving towards Coddle top lane, and then he just left. Speaking of which,
they weren't near anybody, and there was just like a stampede. I'm like, well, all right.
It's like can't have things on cooldown, man. It's like spending your money in StarCraft. You got to make sure that you...
I guess so.
So Coddle will be rushing Aghanim Scepter. I don't know if you've gotten to see this, but it's pretty nasty, especially in the team fights, having the endless Illuminates. Being able to set them as zoning It does a lot of magic damage before anyone gets a pipe, which I think Axe is the prime carrier, or Centaur's the prime carrier for it in this game. He hasn't started it yet. Axe could get one, but he's got his blink there. He's probably going for something like a Blade Mail or an Assault Cuirass to try to help his team out. So it's going to be a long time before they... Yeah, it's going to be a long time before they have any good magic resistance. So let's see if Cobble can get the Ags in time for it to be significant.
I just don't know what the deal was with Myths. I don't know. They picked this lineup, and then it doesn't seem like they had a plan. It looked like they had a plan for the Axes, and it turns out they just casually offlaned him, and then he died because he's Axe solo offlane, and then I don't know. Pretty weird, but they're going to start pushing towers again. We could probably see an Aegis go down sometime soon. Mineski is dire, so they do have that opportunity, but they don't have a ton of damage. I mean, Razor's getting there. Ember Spirit doesn't have a ton of damage.
Oh, 212 is how much you can steal from Razor?
It's like 212 or like 2...
I know that...
It's 210 plus some single-digit number. Like,
218. I'm going to go with 218. I think it's
216.
216?
Yeah.
Alright.
I could be completely wrong.
224. Oh, man.
Man, we got wrecked.
If only it was 322.
If only 322. Well, then you would just feed, so you don't want that much damage.
He steals that damage and it just kills him. Like it's pocket suicide, but with no heal or experience.
Yep. Well, they're gonna start pushing this tier 2 top 4 heroes here. The only hero absent is Ember Spirit. He's content farming for the moment. He has a haste rune, so he can get there really super fast if he wants to. But
structures are fortified.
Razor ultimate gonna be popped, so this tower's gonna start taking some serious damage.
This is a trap. He's a total bait, and they know it. They're smoked up behind. Lakel's is still free farming. He is going to be going for Radiance here.
Oh. Jeez, like I'm gonna run in there. I don't care, man. He's the bait now, the master bait. But
there we go. Lasso going to be on to add a very easy target to kill. Illuminate damage and Flamebook going to keen him up almost instantly. There's going to be a defensive disruption to buy himself some time. TNK going to be retreating back to the base. Searing Chain's going to be landing on Boom Bell. Was that ranged? What the hell was that? But anyway, the tower does go down eventually, and there TP's back mid to defend the tower from Lakel's. It looks like they're peeing it out. They know that Lakel's is going to come back to these camps. There's not a lasso or anything. There's a Wraithfire Blast. There is Searing Chains, and there I find him. Wraithfire Blast is going to be there. He needs the song. He's not going to be able to have it. The burst is too much.
Yeah, he needed... His only way out of that was songing while that Hellfire Blast was in midair. Doesn't quite get it, though. Oh, blinking in. They're trying to get the D-ward off. Disruption at the same time as the Grave. Bit of a stack up there, but he will get out perfectly fine. Oh, while getting gone on does have his ultimate though.
Yeah, Purge going to be used on the Ember Spirit. The Stomp was airballed. So Fat Rider coming in. He's running out of mana, getting Firefly every there. KYT is going to be going down. He's mana leaked as well, so he's going to get stunned no matter what happens. And the Sleight of Fist is going to be able to clean him up. And well, this Ember Spirit looking a lot better than the one we saw in the last game, Mr. Kyle.
Yeah, I mean there's a bit of a roam attempt on a mill. He had a couple of deaths, but that's just that will happen as an Ember Spirit mid because you're a gank target. People want to gank Ember Spirit mid. It's really easy to gank 3-6. So, but even taking that in stride, he's having a much easier time. Just still go for BKB though. I don't know how I feel about that per se, but certainly, well, he certainly has it now. So that's at least something. But
I don't know what to say, but he's got one.
Yeah, it'll help him stay alive in these fights and get some sustained damage with the Sleight of Fist cooldown or down to 6 seconds now. So I think it's fine with how much they're fighting. It's
just also soon, burst. So. It's Black King Bar is again really good against heroes that have a lot of burst in their team fight. Well, Bat Rider going to be moving in, trying to. He sees their whole team and he thinks better of it. Abbott blinks in at the same time that Jesse Vash blinks out, but. Good play there. Razor also has his BKB finished, so he's going to be able to freely static link in the fights. We'll see who he goes for next. I'm usually a fan of going for some damage yourself, going for maybe a Desolator or even something like a Refresher if you really feel like pushing towers and getting the team fights, as Eye of the Storm does stack when you refresh it. Or you can even go for an Assault Cuirass. A lot of people forget, too, that Razor... Eye of the Storm does minus armor to anyone that it hits, so minus armor synergizes quite well on him during team fights, which is why Desolator and AC work quite well. But we'll see what he goes for. Razor, like I was mentioning in the beginning, one of the most versatile heroes as far as item builds in the game.
Yeah, get like a Manta or something like that on him. I like the Assault Cuirass idea of this game. It helps finish buildings off now. Oh, there's a lasso onto a disrupted, who is it?
That's an Axe, it's going to be there. Eye of the Storm there, the 10-second BKB going to be used. Owens. going to be coming in. He stuns TNK, but they're still going to be chasing, and Razor going to be trying to steal some damage from the Sleight of Fist. Searing Chain's going to hit on 2. Flame Break and Remnants kills almost all of them. 3 of them die instantly.
That was a DD on the Ember Spirit, so that was a pretty good time to fight for them.
Well, Lakel's, you know, buddy, you got a relic, but I don't know if you're going to have a base.
They just, like, like we said, it does really well with the Death Ball, with the 4-hero Death Ball. It creates a lot of space, but with the start the other heroes had on MiTH.Trust, it just never happened. The Death Ball never materialized, and Naga never got the space to work with, and lost. When you lose all your towers, it's hard to find places to farm, basically. So,
well, he will get the Radiance. He's got the relic. He's going to the secret shop, so at the very least, he'll be able to push out lanes safely with his illusions, if nothing else. Because the hardest thing when you lose your towers is not losing the space to farm because you don't have towers, it's just because the creep waves are always pushed towards you and you have very little map vision. So the illusions are going to alleviate that a bit. But still, Radiance also against Blade Mail, kind of difficult to deal with when you don't have a BKB.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'd like to see Mineski just go back and get an Aegis to make this a sure thing push. It looks like
I don't think there's a reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, they have control of the map. They can push top out and then go for a Roche or something like that, or they can just try to finish it off now. And, well, they do have a BKB finish on Bad Rider now, so this, I guess, is a good time as any to just go try and end the game. But
I guess they see Lakel's has his relic, so they're thinking, okay, well, that's the rate at which he's farming. Let's do as much as we can before he has a Radiance. And
yeah,
they should be able to take a Rax. And this is the beauty of the Razor pickup as well, is it kind of serves the purpose of like a Luna or a Lycan, where when you win a fight, your base just dies instantly.
I mean, I don't know. There's just, I don't see a way they can fight into this right now.
Not with the Sleight of Fist ban. Yeah. Oh, Blink going to be coming in, going to be disrupted immediately though. Abba going to be trying to blink in as well at the same time, but TNK, he's going to go down immediately. Searing Chains on 2.
Eye of the Storm damage too much.
That's a lot of damage. The Razor doing tons of work here, especially with the Eye of the Storm. Lakel's is not in this fight at all. They're going to lose the bottom racks.
Don't worry, they got the tier 1.
Don't worry, they got the Radiance. Easy game. Not unless it gets sniped. Bat Rider's going to be there. He has a Blink Dagger in 2 seconds. This is huge. If this Radiance goes down, they are going to lose this game. No, he secures it. The Courier still goes down. Lakel's with the big plays there. He does have the song. He is going to be using it, and he will TP home.
But he is on fire.
He is on fire.
That's unfortunate, but he's not a whole lot even with the Radiance he can do to defend against this push game middle. I had the Storm back up in 10 seconds, roughly. Well, I don't know, man. Mineski looking pretty good.
Axe comes in. He decides to man up. He might exactly regret that. He's going to get all of his damage sapped. Sleight of Fist going to be hitting on both of the supports. Blade Mail coming in. Oa has his second life. He doesn't really care about a whole lot. He's going to die to the tower. Everyone is slowed. Flamebreak going to be able to secure a kill. Lakel's is slowed as well. Instant blink out though from Oa. And Boombell taking a lot of damage. He actually gets crit from the Sleight of Fist. The Remnant is going to do a little bit of damage to KYT, but that's not going to be much. In the meantime, there's a lasso as well. But Razor coming in with the Eye of the Storm. He has his damage stolen, not to mention the plasma field doing tons of damage, and Coddle going to be blasting their well. This racks are going to go down, and being 2 racks down, even when you have a Naga Siren, way too difficult. MiTH.Trust calls the GG as Mineski takes an incredible 2-0 victory.
Yeah. Really fun game to watch, certainly lots of fighting, lots of action, but I look at MiTH.Trust and I think if you want to pick this lineup, you need to watch some other teams and see how they play it, because I don't think they handled this lineup properly, and Mineski took full advantage in this game.
They carry Razor, it's legit, man.
Especially if you just, I don't know, if you make it really, really easy for him by giving him a axe off lane, I guess. That's one thing, but yeah, no, it was still really, really well played, and they made the right item choices, made the right timings, made the right choices in pushing, and I really like the Wraith King play from Owa in this game. Nice support play from him.
Yep. Well, that's going to be it for us, everyone. If you liked the material, be sure to check out more from the tournament. You can find more at joinDOTA.com. If you liked our casting or hated our casting and want to let us know, you can find me on Twitter at CallMeRoxas. You can find my buddy here over at Don Horatio. And if you want more content and casting brought to you by HeflaTV, you can find us on Twitch and all the other social media that you can see on your page currently on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. So that's going to be it. Also, make sure you support both of these teams that brought us the great games today. Follow them and support them if you enjoyed their play and found it entertaining. So, anything else for you?
No, that's about it. But I do want to say that Mineski looking pretty strong in this, showing that they actually can be a threat in the Southeast Asian scene when they play at the top of their game like they did today. Looking forward to seeing some more games from the Pinoy boys.
Yep, absolutely. So that's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a great day. Hope you get to play some Dota, watch some more great Dota, and most of all, just that you have a good one and that we get to see you next time. So, over and out.
Adios, friends.